No, hombre, la mera neta es que tienen que cruzar, hombre. Miren, ve, los que están en Tecún, crucense por el río todos, hombre, cómo los van a agarrar todos, o rompan ese portón y ¡pum! De bolón. Miren los que primero que dejaron cruzar en Becha ya están mamados en migración, hombre, de que ya los van a tener mamados. No, hombre, oiga, cómo está yendo ahí la doña ahí, la jefa ahí, de que al marido de ella tuvo que romper ahí migración para salirse ahí, para escaparte, no, hombre. Sí, de trampa les armaron, yo pero decía de que era todo que tenían que usar.
Okay, folks, for those of you who are just joining me, I'm doing another What's Up letter on here because of many developments that have taken place since I started reading these to you. All of those different groups have reached the Mexican border, and it's a mess at the Mexican border right now. Welcome, folks. I wanted to give you an update on what's going on with the caravan that has reached the Mexican border. This is very important information coming directly from the members in the caravan, okay? If you've been paying attention, and I hope you have, there is a caravan that left on January 15th that has reached the Mexican border with Guatemala. And there are a bunch of skirmishes taking place, people trying to cross by force, knocking down fences, and there's been violent clashes between the Mexican National Guard and the migrants. And there are ongoing skirmishes as we speak. I think that it's really important for folks to hear how these attacks at our border in Mexico, at the border in Mexico, are planned in a way, prepared for. A lot of what you see on television news appears to be happening organically. You know, there's a bunch of people apparently waiting at a border somewhere, and they have children, and it's hot, and it looks like they're getting desperate, and they talk about these long waits and the amount of people that are, you know, by the thousands waiting at a border to cross. But what they don't tell you is that they purposefully accumulate people en masse so that they can cross using force. The force and the power of thousands of people, of hundreds of people. So they wait, they coordinate. If you have been listening to the What's Up chatter in my past 5 shows about this, you have heard these coyote subordinates giving numbers to the coyote dispatchers of how many people they have in their group. We've got 600 over here. This shelter has 300. We've got 1,000 waiting at this border. We've got this many thousand over at this other border. I told you that the confusion sewn in, baked in, is meant to send groups to almost every single border crossing at the same time, which necessarily divides the efforts of law enforcement and National Guard and Border Patrol in Mexico at its weakest entry point, the southern border. It has never been secure, never completely secure. There's no border wall on Mexico's southern border like we have here in the United States, even though ours isn't completed and there are big gaps in it, and there's a lot of trafficking that still goes on through those holes that our president wants to plug. In Mexico, there is no such thing. It's just wide open. If you don't want to cross the recommended path, which is a bridge that goes from Guatemala into Mexico, you could just cross the river. It's not even that deep. The Suchiate River in many locations is only ankle deep at certain times of the year. So it's not as if it's that difficult for people to circumvent being checked at the southern border. What is happening inside of these WhatsApp chats, where people are coordinating large groups of people to meet together at these borders, to have these clashes with the National Guardsmen, with the immigration authorities at our southern border in Mexico, is evident within these WhatsApp chat. I'm going to show you that. I decided to stay in this WhatsApp chat even though I really do want to get out of it because there's a lot of messages happening in these chats. I just joined another chat that already has almost 3,000 messages in it, and I haven't even started going through it. So that's kind of giving you an idea.
Eso me acaba de decir mi esposo, que los iban a deportar y la gente al ver que los iban a deportar, pues vieron cómo romper ahí, se escaparon algunos.
So people were being told at the border they were going to be detained and that they were going to be deported, and so they decided to break through the barriers.
Yo creo que la mera neta, la caravana solo fue la bulla. La caravana se terminó en Tecumumán y en el Ceibo, porque todos son pijas de burro. Si hubieran cruzado todos juntos de un solo, hubieran rompido el portón culero y hubieran cruzado hasta acá, Tapachula. Toda la gente que está en Tapachula nos hubiéramos unido y nos hubiéramos ido para arriba. Nosotros estamos aquí en Tapachula, va, es lo bueno, va, pero puta, deshacieron la caravana y ahora quedaron en pija.
So this person named Cruz is angry that there were people crossing at El Ceibo and people crossing at Tecumumán. He said that the caravan that got plugged up at Tecumumán is basically done, and they won't be able to continue forward because they didn't listen. What they should have done is all cross at one place, and with their massive numbers, they would have knocked down the gate and gotten through. And then they would have been able to meet up with the people already on the Mexican side in Tapachula and continued on their way north. But what this person does not understand, maybe, or is not recognizing, is that some of the folks within the caravan are going to be tribute. They're going to get turned over to the authorities. They're going to be walked right into a dragnet, because it's the cost of doing business. And if you're in the billion-dollar industry of smuggling people, some of those people will be delivered to the cartels. Some of those people will be delivered into the hands. And some of those people are going to be given over to the authorities. And that way, they will, that particular part of the caravan won't be successful. Might just get through. They might just get through.
Eso me acaba de decir mi esposo, que los iban a deportar y la gente al ver que los iban a deportar, pues vieron cómo romper ahí, se escaparon algunos.
So she says that, they thought they got scared and they decided to escape and run. Here says President of Guatemala has said that they were going to be allowed to reach the U.S. And Dennis responds to that, yes, and that's why they ensnared us with a trap. And Miguel responds, I just came back from Tecumumán, and there are many problems. And this Alejandro Giamatti, is he Italian? Is there a little Italian flag there? responding to a comment by Miguel that the Mexican government said that if the caravan goers do not behave, they will be deported, responds, the Mexican government has just communicated that there are disturbances and assaults on Mexican people, that if there are disturbances and assaults on Mexican people, they meaning the caravan goers, or the Mexican government, excuse me, will deport everyone that is facing, or that is charged criminally. In other words, they're going to be handed over directly to the police of their countries of origin. And Miguel responds to Cruz's voice message. The only hope that these people had was to wait for the caravan. That is now departing on the 31st of January, so that they can accumulate force. And by force, they mean accumulate people. But that's going to take some days. And then this is the story. This story here is one of the, let's see, the National Guard being, excuse me, I'm trying to fix that.
Ya prácticamente media hora después de que reportamos esto, el grupo de migrantes que atravesó el río Suchiate para tratar de ingresar por la fuerza. Para preguntarte, Paco, ya, ¿cuál es la situación en este momento? Esto lo vemos en pantalla, en una zona. ¿Ya logró contener en su totalidad la Guardia Nacional a los migrantes?
Por lo menos en este tramo sí. Es un tramo aproximadamente de 1 kilómetro, pero hay mucho más espacio a través del río Suchiate para poder cruzarlo. El cauce aquí se ha mantenido un poquito hondo por las obras que han realizado los guatemaltecos y los mexicanos, pero kilómetros atrás y adelante del Suchiate se puede cruzar. Pero por lo pronto, aquí donde me encuentro yo, que es uno de los embarcaderos más solicitados, sí se contuvo con esta valla de granaderos que te estamos mostrando en este momento, y con un diálogo que esperemos que fructifique y que haya acuerdos entre ambas partes, pero por lo pronto aquí ya se contuvo. Pero hacia atrás de la cámara que está enviando estas señales en vivo, déjame decirte que está un embarcadero que se llama El Limón, a unos 500 metros otro embarcadero que se llama El Coyote, y también enfrente donde estábamos transmitiendo hay más embarcaderos, por lo que te puedo comentar que por lo menos aquí sí, en los otros ojalá que también haya funcionado el dispositivo de la Guardia Nacional, estos equipos antimotines con acrílico, con escudos de acrílico, y con los cascos, que es el equipo elemental para poder enfrentar alguna movilización social como la que estamos observando. Del otro lado, mira cómo se ha juntado también gente de Tecunumán, ahí los observamos en esta escollera, en este estero que han construido de manera artificial con esta costalera, y es justamente ahí donde algunos habitantes de Tecunumán están observando lo que está sucediendo. Muchos de ellos quizás sean migrantes también, porque hay que recordar que gran parte de la comunidad que vive aquí en Tecunumán también en algún momento fue de origen migrante. Aquí a la derecha vamos a observar, es más, te voy a pedir que me lo muestres, Edgar, por favor, el puente. Ese es el puente Rodolfo Robles. Al fondo se alcanza a observar. Notarás que a pesar de las condiciones de luz, observamos siluetas. Esas siluetas de esa gente que está ahí son los que aceptaron iniciar su trámite migratorio de manera legal. Ellos permanecen ahí en espera de que sean atendidos y de iniciar este trámite. Recordar que, por ejemplo, en nuestro país, Carlos, pedir asilo político es un trámite administrativo, a diferencia de Estados Unidos, donde es un juicio entre las cortes americanas. Pero de ahí estamos hablando de una distancia quizás de unos 700, 800 metros, es por donde cruzamos con el grueso de esta migración. Y mira, ahí al frente, vamos a enfocar, por favor, Edgar, se observa como algunos de los migrantes están desistiendo en el intento y están retornando al lado de Tecunumán. Son pocos, en realidad la mayoría permanece aquí en el talud donde nosotros nos encontramos transmitiendo en vivo. Y pues mira, déjame contarte, mientras damos un giro giro más a la cámara hacia tu espalda del lado derecho, por favor. Vamos a contar rápidamente y serán unos 60, 70 elementos de la Guardia Nacional con el equipo antimotín. Son realmente muy pocos. Ahí se corta y comienza la fila, la valla de elementos de la Guardia Nacional, y se prolonga hasta aproximadamente, que serán unos 50 metros al fondo. Y déjame decirte que están superados con mucho por los migrantes, pero hasta el momento lo han contenido. Hay equipos de grabación de los
prácticamente media hora después de
para
que
documentar lo que está sucediendo y dar cuenta precisamente a las instituciones de derechos humanos.
This isn't playing. Okay, I got it to stop. Finally. Anyway, they were talking about how the National Guard had come out in force and stopped the passage of these folks through the river, and that there was a bunch of people that had accepted, going through the legal process of having their identity checked and being issued traveling documents, etc. It's very tense there. So after that is posted, this person says,
No, la mera neta es que tienen que cruzar, hombre. Miren, ve, los que están en Tecún, crucense por el río todos, hombre, cómo los van a agarrar todos, o rompan ese portón y ¡pum! De bolón. Miren los que primero que dejaron cruzar en 20 ya están mamados en migración, de que ya los van a tener mamados. No, hombre, oiga cómo está yendo ahí la doña ahí, la jefa ahí, de que al marido de ella tuvo que romper ahí migración para salirse ahí, para escaparse. No, hombre. Sí, de trampa les armaron, yo pero decía de que era todo que tenían que cruzar.
that guy's a real soft talker. Makes me think he's a coyote because those people always try to disguise their voice. But he's saying that people should just cross the river. Those of you that are still at Tucunuman, just cross through the river. They can't stop all of you. Just go. Just keep going, basically. And this guy says that this news that you just saw is happening live, so don't be fooled by what it tells you. And Miguel says that in Tucunuman, everyone got separated. Some people are being interviewed. Other groups are waiting at the bridge. Another group is crossing through the river, and other people have been detained to be deported. And still others are at the park at Tikkun Uman. The person named Dennis responds to this comment saying, those who were taken to be interviewed were lied to. That's what they told them so that they would turn themselves over. Marina says, what happened is a great disorder. Some of them one way, some of them went ahead of us. Everything in total disorder. It's like they don't understand that it would have been better if we had gone all together. And Dennis responds to her, that's true. And Dixon says, turn on live HCH News. Miguel says, in response to the ruse of getting people to turn themselves over in exchange for an interview, they were intelligent because they separated everyone in order to detain them. Then people agree with that and to deport them. Don't let them fool you. Those that were taken toward Villahermosa, some of them escaped. They broke out so they could escape. Virginia says there is a ruckus at the border in Mexico. Levsia says, keep going, countrymen. Don't let them stop you.
Sobuso, la noticia ahí, según dije que enfrentamiento entre los inmigrantes, pero a la hora de no los dejan pasar, yo creo que está difícil que pase.
Careful. Right now in the news, they're saying there's a confrontation between the migrants and the law enforcement in Mexico, but what that means is that they're just not letting them pass. So the tone is that, like, we're not being confrontational. They're being confrontational because they're not letting us pass. I'm watching the news right now. So Lester the molester is showing up again here. Marina says that Lester, he who is most mentioned, he who is most discussed, he says that they were taken to Villahermosa. And Dennis responds to that, yes, and some of them escaped from there. What channel are you watching the news on? Says Lesbia. And Miguel says that they were not allowed to pass because their group was too small and they were all divided. Then they show some TV links here. And it basically says that after denying them entry, the National Guard contained migrants that tried to cross the Suchiate River. There was an altercation with them. And then they show more from that news. Just going to peek at this Twitter real quick, see what it says. Okay, so this is the same story they're talking about.
Lucía, bueno, comentarte, nos encontramos justo en el playón de lo que es el río Suchiate. Te voy a mostrar cómo está esta contención de estos cientos de migrantes que están a la espera de este diálogo con los elementos de la Guardia Nacional para poder ingresar al territorio mexicano. Ya está buscando dialogar, sobre todo ahorita están bajo las sombras de algunos árboles que están en el cauce del río, están descansando y buscan entrar de manera de caravana luego de que rechazaron esta propuesta del Instituto Nacional de Migración que les ofrecía asilo y refugio. Ellos decidieron, primero entraron a las 4 de la mañana, salieron del albergue de Tecumumán, Guatemala, caminaron y una hora después ingresaron cuando elementos del SAT de Guatemala abrieron las puertas de la frontera y caminaron al puente Rodolfo Flores. Posteriormente leyeron un documento precisamente buscando que les dieran este paso de modos de caravana. Les dijeron que no era posible y posteriormente determinaron, bajaron al cauce del río a la altura del puente Rodolfo Robles y empezaron a caminar. Es una situación vulnerable el río porque el cauce está prácticamente en los niveles más bajos de la historia, por lo que bueno, todos pueden caminar en este nivel del río. ¿Qué están buscando ahorita? Dialogar con elementos de la Guardia Nacional, porque hay un cerco precisamente de estos elementos conteniendo a este grupo mayoritario de migrantes que bueno, prácticamente burlaron ya la seguridad en esta zona y están pretendiendo cruzar.
So they've already violated the security in this region.
Es el cauce del río, es el bordo de perimetral. Posteriormente empiezan los locales comerciales de Ciudad Hidalgo, hay que decirlo, que mantienen a través de las balsas este comercio informal entre México y Centroamérica, y posteriormente ellos estarían entrando lo que es la ciudad de Ciudad Hidalgo. Te voy a mostrar el recorrido que tienen que hacer ellos para subir el río. Prácticamente esto es un playón donde podemos observar que están ellos parados esperando y tienen que buscar, dependiendo el tramo, es la situación en cómo suben ellos. Algunos son muros de piedras, diques de piedras, otros son de estas bolsas rellenas de arena que precisamente les sirven también para elevar el cauce del río y poder seguir transitando con las balsas. Bueno, de ellos algunos.
And these sand and rock dikes that were built are built by the raft makers so that they can continue to cross things on rafts.
Bueno, prácticamente resbalaron en esta turba que tuvieron hace unos minutos. La situación ya está en calma hasta el momento. Algunos de ellos están.
I'm sure those raft makers are losing a lot of business right now because people could just walk across. Maybe you can't drive across there. I don't know how, muddy it is, but just walk.
Prácticamente agotados, desesperados, sobre todo por las inclemencias del tiempo, donde, bueno, son 38 grados con sensación térmica mucho mayor.
38 degrees Celsius, and with the thermal, I don't know, they must have like a wind chill factor, but the opposite of that, like the thermal factor, it feels even hotter, he said.
y ellos tienen que esperar qué es lo que ha dicho la Guardia Nacional, que no van a pasar si no cuentan con el documento.
So what has the National Guard said? National Guard said they cannot cross unless they are documented. That means they have to have identification, legal identification accepted at the border in order to cross.
Ahí podemos observar cómo un elemento de la Guardia Nacional les está diciendo que no pueden pasar, que no pueden.
So you can see the National Guardsmen up there talking to the people, telling them they cannot cross. Folks, this is really important. This is the people's, if you just joined us, we're going through the WhatsApp chat. We're discussing what people are talking about as numerous attempts to cross the Mexican southern border violently are being made by members of the caravan that departed Central America on the 15th of this month. So on January 15th, one caravan left, another is leaving on the 31st. Right now, we are seeing the violence that is taking place at the Mexican border.
Subir al borde de lo que es nuestro país, por lo que no cuentan con estos documentos. La mayoría de ellos está.
The majority of them do not have those documents.
Ha calmado, ha pedido precisamente este diálogo con la Guardia Nacional, pero lo que le ha dicho la Guardia Nacional es que tiene que ser a través de las leyes del Instituto Nacional de Migración, que tienen que ellos buscar para poder acceder a nuestro país de manera ordenada y de manera regulada.
Así es, Juan. Gracias por el reporte. Vuelvo contigo en unos instantes.
Okay, so that's that news story. Somebody says, but the ones that were at El Ceibo, they've already crossed, haven't they? And this person starts a prayer here. May God up high guard them and cover them with his precious blood and send angels. May God care for every child in the caravan. Lord, we ask that you watch after every one of them. This is a difficult situation. May God cover it. And then it says miraculous, opens roads, keeps promises, brightens the darkest corners. My God, it is you. Look at this article. Migrants begin to cross the Suchiate River. So there's more images of God. Where are they? Can the people that are at El Ceibo report what they are doing? Were you allowed to cross or not? I believe these are songs. Yep. These are like songs, like church songs. In this one.
Dicen que un grupo, ahorita me acaba de hablar mi hermana que ahí viene una caravana, dice que un grupo se pudo cruzar y ya van caminando hacia Tapachula.
So
Dicen que
one group was able to cross. My sister is fortunately in that group and she reported it to me. And they were able to cross into Mexico and they're now on their way to Tapachula.
Un grupo, ahorita me acaba de hablar mi hermana que ahí viene una caravana, dice que un grupo se pudo cruzar y ya van caminando hacia Tapachula.
Right? So they're already on their way. And this person says, tell them to hide. Tell them to hide somewhere nearby and to wait because at the entrance of Tapachula, there are already reinforcements of immigration agents waiting for those that entered Mexico in this fashion, basically in this hidden clandestine fashion. So this person reports that a group of people did indeed break into Mexico. Hundreds of people, that she is a part of that group and is reporting to him. They're already in there. And this Alejandro Giamatti tells the brother, make sure they hide because there's already agents in Tapachula waiting to grab them. Lillian says,
Sí, es verdad, yo estaba viendo las noticias ahorita y sí pasaron un montón por el río.
it's true that the bunch of them were able to cross. I watched a whole bunch of them cross through the river.
Hay algunos que sí los hirieron, pero los demás están bien, o sea,
Some of them were injured, but the rest of them are fine.
lograron pasar el río.
And they crossed. So the majority crossed the river. Excuse me. Danny says,
Sí, mi hermana me acaba de hablar y que se pasaron algunas 300 o 500 personas.
yes, my sister just talked to me, and she said that 300 to 500 people were able to cross.
Me acaba de hablar y me dije que van caminando para Tapachula, pero que los van a esperar, no sé, en un lugar ahí van a estar esperando ellos, dicen, porque...
Yeah, and they said that they're on their route to Tapachula, but they're going to be waiting somewhere nearby.
Como Tapachula, la entrada de Tapachula está bien reforzada de
The entrance to Tapachula is well reinforced,
guardias nacionales.
so they have to be careful. Lillian says, yep, it's true. A lot of people, but many of them are waiting. Things are calming down. Maybe in a while, more can cross. So they're kind of waiting for things to calm down.
Ahorita estaba viendo las noticias mexicanas, dicen que hasta que se calmen los van a dejar pasar, dice.
Well, I was just watching the Mexican news, and on the Mexican news, they were saying that the caravan goers are not going to be allowed to cross until they calm down.
Porque unas personas ahí dicen que rompieron unos locales y todo,
Because they were saying on the news that some of the people in the caravan were busting up some of the local businesses.
el desorden no.
And they were not going to allow disorder.
Entonces dicen que si se calman los van a dejar pasar. Otra cosa, un grupo.
So they've said that if they calm down, they are going to allow them to pass. And then something else.
Se pasó un montón de gente.
Another group has already also crossed into Mexico. A bunch of people.
Gracias a Dios mi hermana va allí. Mi hermana es la que me va comunicando todo.
Thank God my sister is with them and she's the one communicating everything to me.
Que tengan cuidado los que ya se pasaron adelante porque les pueden hacer una encerrona ahí y los pueden agarrar.
Be very careful those who have gone ahead because they might ambush you.
Tengan cuidado los que ya entraron, que van camino a Tapachula.
Those who are headed to Tapachula, watch out. Alejandro Giamatti, once again, in response to the comment about bunches of people crossing in, says, it doesn't matter. They will be captured. They will be capturing those who got in according to their reinforcements in Tapachula. And on the federal highways that go north to the U.S. border. So Alejandro's statement basically is one of a warning that the Mexican government is saying that they're going after those who got into Mexico illegally, and that they've got reinforcements waiting to capture them in Tapachula and on their highways. Lillian says, wow, that's terrible, or that's bad. Lesvia says, wait for the others. Suyapa left a voicemail, and in response to it, Alejandra says, Mama, Suyapa, please pray so that the roads are opened. And Suyapa says, I'm already doing that. Listen to my prayer that I have said so that the doors will be open. Danny says, Mother, please pray for my sister so nothing happens to her. And Danny responds with a song for Christ or some prayer. More praying here for the doors to be opened. Let's all pray together, says Princess. Yes, let's do. For all my people that are in the river, you should kneel and pray as one, reaching out to the Lord. And no weapon shall prosper against you. And Princess responds to that saying, it's very true. But who could tell them to bend over, even though it is the best thing they could do? Miguel says, no one will listen to that. They're all desperate and tired. So Lillian says, exactly. Suyapa puts in a big long prayer here so everybody can cross without problems. And God is the most powerful, and God will cover them with his covering and his blood, and in his name and in the name of Jesus. The enemy will be separated. The enemy will learn, the enemy will know that yours is the power and the glory and everything that is in heaven and on earth. Who's the enemy? Mexicans? So for Lillian, her prayer is that for those who are tired, for God to give them rest and renew their powers, renew their strength. Here, Danny says, we got another song. More song. I think that's why I left them halfway playing, so I remember that those were songs. I don't want them. And people are agreeing that the people there are too tired and desperate. Hello for everyone watching. I'm doing more chatter from the caravan, the current caravan that left on the 15th and is now at the Mexico southern border with Guatemala. So, what are people saying? We're getting to hear from people as they cross the border into Mexico, and as they try to escape the situation. Does anybody know if they crossed, those who have crossed at El Ceibo are in? And they put another song in. Some of them escaped, it says. Some were taken to a shelter, supposedly, but we don't know anything about them since then. They are now crossing the Mexican border. The ones from Tacun or the ones from El Ceibo, asks another person. Okay, here's a song about being a migrant. Casi 14 años sin ir a mi tierra. Stop! Sorry, I don't want you to hear it. I don't like playing songs on here because, that was a mistake. I didn't mean to open that. I want to ask you a favor, someone says to Danny. And, hey, Carlos, ten cuidado, decime que va a hacer primero. Suyapa says, be very careful and tell me what you're going to do first.
Quiero saber si están pasando con la frontera de Guatemala y México. Quiero saber.
I want to know if people are crossing through the Cunuman into Mexico. I want to know.
Porfa, informen.
Please inform me. And then here's another song. This one is actually titled Mojados, which means wetback. And in the lyrics of the song, it says, if the moon can softly basically slither on around any cornice without asking permission, why must the wetback precisely provide some type of visa in order to convince that he's not from Neptune? Of course, we know Neptune is under the water, and wetbacks would likely be coming through the water, right? Because they're river crossers. Anywho, there's a lot of songs about, crossing and being an undocumented immigrant, an illegal immigrant, etc., that are being dropped in here. Kind of like a battle cry to get the troops riled up.
Por la frontera de Chiapas, mucha atención a este informe de último momento. Mucha atención. Último momento.
Listen carefully.
Último momento.
De acuerdo al comunicado emitido por el Instituto Nacional de Migración, México, se permitirá el acceso cumpliendo los requisitos establecidos en la ley, una migración segura y ordenada y regular. Las disposiciones jurídicas no establecen una calidad migratoria de tránsito. Existe la invitación a las personas migrantes pasar la frontera de México en orden para su registro y resolver cada una de las peticiones.
They've asked people to go and in an orderly fashion, follow the law, provide identification, and resolve requests for visas, entry into the country, asylum claims, etc. Notice that the same tactic is being used to bombard borders with thousands of people all at once. If the United States is having problems with being able to see thousands of people and, receive their asylum claims all at once, because we just don't have enough hours in the day, enough manpower at those offices, enough business hours in which to resolve and attend to all of those cases at once. How do you think Mexico is going to fare when they don't have their poop in the group the same way the U.S. does? Because they don't. I told you that southern border in Mexico is basically Swiss cheese. Anybody can get through. And as you've seen, the Suchiate River is practically dry. It is at its lowest point right now. You can just walk across. You can just walk across that river. So, is this a tactic? Yes, it is. How often have you seen these folks talking about it in that fashion? You should just all cross the river at once. Knock down the gate. They can't stop you all. That's what you're hearing here.
Ubicado en Ciudad Hidalgo, Chiapas, la titular de la Oficina de Representación del...
So they're posting news pieces from Mexican media that are telling folks they have to follow the law and present ID, that they will not be allowed to come in without proper identification. Can anyone tell me if the caravan that was at Tecún Uman is in the Mexican territory now? Okay. Marina then says, hello group, one person dead among the immigrants is being reported. A death is being reported. Okay. Who is it? Someone asks. Who is it? Someone else asks. Who is it? Someone else says.
Como grupo informen quién es la persona muerta. Manden fotos o algo, manden fotos.
Can somebody tell us, inform us who the dead person is? Share their information, put a picture or something. Someone else says, who is it? Someone else says, who is it?
Porque yo también estuve ahí y me gastaron a mí, pero yo como aquí ya tengo papeles mexicanos, entonces por eso ahí estuve y se lo llevó lo de la ambulancia rapidito y eso es el reporte.
So she forwards a voicemail from someone that says, yes, I was there. He doesn't say I was there and I saw a dead body. It just says I was there, but they didn't take me because I already have legal papers here in Mexico. So I just was there and I witnessed it. Right away, they took the body away very quickly. They took him away in an ambulance. Let me play that again. It's very quiet, but it's not really IDing a death. It's saying something about someone being taken in an ambulance.
Porque yo también estuve ahí, me gastaron a mí, pero yo
Oh, and he said he was checked. Me rastrearon a mí, he says.
como aquí ya tengo papeles mexicanos, entonces por eso ahí estuve y se lo llevó lo de la ambulancia rapidito y eso es el reporte.
Please tell us what happened. Please tell us who he is. Please, we're so upset.
Manden fotos, lo que saben, lo que tuvieron ahí, pues.
Whoever was there and has information, send a picture. Holy. Okay, we got to watch this one more time. Wait, does this open up a little bit more? Oh, no. Screwed that up. Let's try this again. Whoa. Folks, that was crazy. Please tell us who died, a woman or a man. May God protect them. I think it was a man. They say it was a man. Oh my God.
Manden fotos.
Send a picture, he says. Send a picture. Can you say the name, please? Yes, please give the name of the person. And then somebody shows the video that we just played of the National Guardsmen clashing with the caravan, and it says, these dogs don't know the name yet, says Oscar. Please tell us who it is. What happened? There's the video. Again, the video we just saw. Again, this is what I'm telling you. There's no coordination, says someone else. And then there's crying emojis. Coordinators should have known about this. What is this? Amidst the chaos, there's also joy. And they say, calm down. I think that this news report, and it's very much a Honduran news station, it seems to be trying to give, you know, a lighter side of all of this.
Guachen, me mandaron un video de HCH ahí, tomado en el tele, ve. Guachen hasta la hora, supuestamente la caravana ya le dieron ingreso, pónganse uso, todo, ve. Nos vamos. Nos vamos, nos vamos.
Watch the news report I was just sent from HCH. They're crossing, they're getting in, they're going, we're going, he says.
Eso es lo que dice la noticia, pero que confirmen ellos. Si ya entraron, ¿qué onda? ¿Qué rollo, pues?
Yeah, that's what they say on the news, but we want confirmation for the migrant goers. Tell us that they got in or not, that they confirmed that they got in. And then this person says, where did you see that? Milton. It was in a chat con él como en el relajo que hubo, todos corrieron, entonces se le despertó, no sé si con Kevin, pero el caso es que no la hayan, pero dijo que la iban a buscar ahí. So somebody is lost. They got lost in that whole ruckus there. It was all on the news a minute ago. Did you see it? I was asking if you'd seen it. I saw that they grabbed people and that they tossed out tear gas, and some of them were throwing rocks. No, I haven't seen it. So people are discussing what happened. Nobody knows who it was. I want to know if a woman or a man died. Here are some friends that are in the group. The people that are crossing, look at their faces. Look at their faces. And then here we have a woman appears to have been passed out or something, being carried away. Here's another image of people crossing the Suchiate. You see the water below.
Confirmen, si ya viene para adentro, confirmen, porque la gente de Tapachula aquí está esperando para apoyar la caravana también.
These are people already on the Mexican side waiting to hear whether or not they've crossed.
Es una niña. Es una niña.
I have a girl. I have a daughter. Oh, that's the girl. That's the girl that's fainted there. And that's the last of the messages, folks. I will be returning later to bring you more updates about what's gone on with the group of people still stranded right there at the border of Mexico, and who is with them. Tune in later to find out. You won't want to miss my show on a Mexican crossing lines. Now that you have some of the background of what this cluster, a cluster of people and organizers of the caravan are doing at Mexico's southern border, you'll definitely want to see who's involved. Thanks for being with us here on 88.1 FM's group chat, WhatsApp chat, chatter, so that we can analyze it. And please share it, all of your groups, all of your pages. Thanks for supporting our work. See you later.